Assalamu alaikum listeners, welcome to the show Spinoff. This is your RJ Faisal Ilyas. On Spinoff, we cover ICC Men's T20 World Cup for 2024 and a very tough day for Pakistani fans yesterday when the game in Lauderhill was called off due to rain and storm in Florida. Actually, no game has been played so far in the Lauderhill, and today is supposed to be another game on the same ground between India and Canada, but all the Pakistani fans are literally disappointed and are disarrayed because of the performance that Pakistan team has done so far. And it was not just the weather that has gone against us, but also had USA won that game, we still had to go out of this tournament. So Pakistan is out of the race of Super 8 in this year's T20 World Cup. So the law of average has come into play this time round, because we know that in the last T20 World Cup we managed to reach to the next stage because of Netherlands, who beat South Africa over there, because of which Pakistan could qualify. But this time round it didn't happen. In fact, the rain took everything away from Pakistan yesterday, and like I said, we still had to have USA won that game even if that game had played yesterday. But I have seen a lot of Pakistani cricketers criticizing the team, and I have seen our fans also a lot of messages in our inbox, and you guys can also chip in today's show as well. You have our WhatsApp number. You can tell us as to what has gone wrong, and some of the messages are actually very technical and very good. One of the messages that we got from you guys is saying that Pakistan actually was not prepared for the games in USA, because if you look at the team, we had Saim Ayub, Azam Khan in the team, only because they had experience of playing in the Caribbean condition. So we had this Caribbean mindset in the mind, and we were taking this USA games for granted. We thought that it will be easy to beat USA, it will be easy to beat teams like Canada, but all of our plans were actually wrong, and to qualify in the next round was not that easy. So yes, that is one of the reasons why we have not been able to qualify. And cricket is such a game that if you take it lightly, it attacks back on you, and this is what we have seen in this year's T20 World Cup. Not just Pakistan, New Zealand have also not qualified for the Super 8, and we have seen that England, who has to play their game today, are also fighting for their spot in the next round. So we'll have to wait and see. So exciting games coming up today as well. The two games that were supposed to be played after our show yesterday went on to be played, and we saw that South Africa-Nepal game turned out to be a real nail-biter one, and South Africa managed to win this game by just one run. And we saw the footages from there. Nepal expected to win this game, and it could have been one of the not just the South Africa have gone through all of the difficult games, but this could have been a biggest upset of this tournament had Nepal would have won this game. But if we talk about South Africa, all of their 4 games in this year's T20 World Cup have been difficult ones. They did not easily win against Bangladesh. We saw at one stage Bangladesh could have easily chased down that total, and one or two decisions also went in South Africa's favor. So could it be the different story for South Africa this year? Because we have seen that generally they play very easily in the round games, and when it comes to knockout stages they find it difficult. But this time round their initial games have been very difficult, but let's see if the knockout stages go with South Africa this time round. But they topped this group D, and they have already qualified for the next round, and all the 4 games they've won hardly, but they've won all the 4 games. Let's come back to this game. South Africa won this game by just 1 run, and Nepal actually won the toss and asked South Africa to bat first. South Africa could only manage to score 115 runs in their full quota of 20 overs by losing 7 wickets. Their opener Reza Hendricks managed to score 43 runs of 49 balls. So if we look at South Africa's performance this year, all of their players have chipped in. We have seen that Klaasen played outstanding innings. Markram is yet to come in his groove, but other players have actually scored in each of the games that they've played. So in this game, Hendricks managed to score 43 runs. He was the top scorer. Then Stubbs scored unbeaten 27 of 18, and Adrian Markram scored 15 of 22. If we look at the bowling efforts from Nepal, their bowler Bhurtal managed to take 4 wickets, conceding 19 runs only, and Dipendra Singh took 3 wickets, conceding 21 runs only. And the highlight of this inning was Markram and Ansharing's partnership. They put on 46 for the second innings, and then Stubbs came on the crease and he managed to score some runs. But eventually this score was not that enough, and we saw that Nepal could have won this game. They could not chase down the score. At one stage they needed only 2 runs of 2 ball, but that was also difficult. I'm very happy to see that most of us know cricket this well. One of the users, one of the fans is writing it down that Pakistan team was number 1 when Sarfaraz was captain, and Sarfaraz was the one who made this team, because we all know that Babar, Shadab, even Fakhar Zaman, all of these players came to fort when Sarfaraz was the captain, when we won the Champions Trophy under the captaincy of Sarfaraz. And Sarfaraz also won the under-19 Cup for Pakistan as well. So he was somebody who has proven record of winning trophies. He also won 2 trophies for Quetta Gladiators in PSL as well. So this user is making a very technical point and saying that Sarfaraz made this team, and we were the number 1 when he left the team as a captain, and slowly and gradually our team deteriorated because of the fact that under Babar's captaincy there were no new players made it to the team, and we did not allow a lot of young talent to be part of the team. And also the players like Mohammad Wasim Jr., Haris, Hasibullah in the ranks, who came in the team, went out from the team without any significant reasons. So this is a very valid point, that one of the reasons why Pakistan's position right now is so bad in T20 cricket is because of the fact that we have not created many players. Our bench strength is not strong, because of which we struggle to play in the conditions like we had to face in US, where you need players who have spent a lot of time playing first class cricket, 4-day cricket. Like we saw in Indian team, they have brought in Rishabh Pant, who is their known test cricketer and somebody who has performed so well in the test cricket. We had the option of players like Amir Jamal, Mohammad Wasim Jr., who could have been a great asset in these kind of conditions, but we made all these mistakes, and the fans are absolutely right about it. I know we are all frustrated, and we are all not very happy the way our team has performed. It's not just because of the washout of yesterday's game, it's only because of the fact that we played so badly against the game in US, and a lot of the fans have also pointed out that we were unlucky. I kind of disagree with that, because we were not unlucky. We were actually lucky to have first game in US in the ground where we could have scored better, but we did not do that. So we were not unfortunate, rather we were not prepared for the situation. One important factor is that there are a lot of news coming in that Pakistan team will have significant changes, and some of the players from the bench will be tried, and I think this is the right time for Pakistan team to investigate. And investigate is a harsh word, but we saw the game against India. We were in a position that we could have won it, but we felt like there were some players who did not have the intention to win the game for Pakistan. These are all harsh words, but we felt like it because some of the senior players like Wasim Akram also highlighted that Babar and Shaheen Shah were not in talking terms. And when you're representing your country, when you are representing your country at such a big level, I think these kind of things should not be there in the team. And we have seen that ever since Shaheen Shah has been removed from captaincy, his performances have not been up to the mark. And also with players like Rizwan and some other players, even Shadab Khan, their performances have been lackluster. They did not look like winning the games for Pakistan. So all of this needs to be sorted out, because it's been a very bad performance, not just in this T20 World Cup, but we cannot forget how we badly performed in the 2023 50 over World Cup, and all of these big tournaments are back to back. We have to play Champions Trophy in 2025, which is going to happen in Pakistan. And we all know that Pakistan is not just playing cricket, they are also fighting with the world to make the cricketing world come to Pakistan and play cricket. But if our cricket is going to go down like this, if we are going to go down and out like this in big ICC tournaments, who is going to come to Pakistan and who is going to play here? Because with this loss, a lot of pressure will be there on PCB to host the ICC Champions Trophy, because we are not just struggling in cricket, but we are struggling in a lot of other political and geographical issues. So coming back to this game, which was played between South Africa and Nepal, which South Africa managed to win by 1 wicket. The top performer in this game was again a spinner, a seasoned spinner actually from South Africa, Tabraiz Shamsi, who was playing his first game in this year's men's T20 World Cup, and he managed to take 4 wickets, conceding only 19 runs. This is where we keep on saying that Pakistan has not invested in having good spinners in the side, and we have seen the results, and we have seen Pakistan failing in big tournaments because of not having a frontline spinner who could take them wickets. So Shamsi took 4 wickets, and Makram, who is their captain, he also bowled, and he is a part-time bowler. He also took 1 wicket. And Nokia, who is having a great World Cup so far, he also took 1 wicket. We've already spoken a lot about how Pakistan could not qualify for the next round and the frustration that's there in the fans. You can also chip in with your messages on our WhatsApp number that you already have, and some of the messages that we had were absolutely good in terms of the technical questions that you guys asked, and you guys have highlighted the right points in terms of how our team was not prepared for the games in USA especially, and now our team is coming back from USA. They do not get the chance to play a single game in the co-hosts West Indies, and all of the Pakistani team's plan was to play in West Indies because they selected players like Azam Khan, Imad Wasim, and even Saim Ayub, because they've all been very active in Caribbean League, but eventually this decision backfired for Pakistan, and because of the lackluster performance in USA conditions, we are coming back from USA without playing any game in the Super 8, which were supposed to be played in West Indies. One question that I have received on WhatsApp is also very good, which says that what kind of conditions we have when it is managed by ICC, that because this also is a technical question. In Lauderhill, Florida, we saw that there was no rain at certain points yesterday, but the outfield was so wet that the game could not have been started in those conditions. So where was ICC? The question actually is that where was ICC when there was this rain, and the outfield and the pitch should have been covered with better arrangements. You are right, with the kind of funds that ICC have, they should have done better, and this game could have been played for shorter number of overs. Like for an international T20 game to happen, the game can be for 5 overs as well, but I think the intention of ICC also looked a little less in terms of having this game played, because USA qualified with the 5 points. They got 1 point after the yesterday's washout game. So all of these questions will keep coming in, because we are all disappointed because Pakistan has not gone to the next round, and this actually is one of the worst performance from our team in T20 World Cup formats, because we have been very successful generally, but this time round we have not been able to even qualify for the next stage where 8 top teams will fight against each other. Alright, so we'll talk about the next game that was played between New Zealand and Uganda. This game also, it was actually a completely one-sided game. We know that what superpower New Zealand is, although New Zealand is also not qualifying for the next round, but they completely crushed Uganda and they won the game. Canada could only score 40 runs when they batted first, and New Zealand managed to chase down the total in just 5.2 overs. There is nothing much to talk about this game because New Zealand won this game by 9 wickets with 88 balls to spare. There were 2 or 3 good performances. One from Tim Southee, he took 3 wickets, conceding just 4 runs, and Trent Bolt took 2 wickets, he conceded 7 runs. If we talk about New Zealand's batting, Devin Conway managed to score 22 runs. So like I said, New Zealand has already not qualified for the next round, but they have to play their last game against Papua New Guinea, who we have seen that they gave difficult time to West Indies. So we'll have to see as to how this game goes on. And for Uganda, this year's T20 World Cup is over. One of the memorable performances that they could manage was their win against Papua New Guinea. And like we have discussed before, that this World Cup was all about these associate teams who have done so well and have given such a difficult time to full members of ICC, especially teams like USA, Canada and Papua New Guinea to some extent. So this is how this game went on. Now we'll move towards the group, as to how each group is shaping up. First of all, the Group A, where Pakistan was there in the group. Pakistan, if we look at the table right now, is going to finish on the 3rd position. Obviously, Pakistan is not going to qualify for the next round. The 2 teams who have qualified for the Super 8 are India with 6 points so far. They have to play their next game against Canada, and this game is to happen today at Florida Lauderhill. Whether this game goes on or not, but India is already qualified as the team which has topped the group. USA is on the 2nd position, and first time they are playing a tournament of this magnitude and to qualify for the next stage. We have seen some of the footages, how excited this team is, and they deserve all of the accolades, all of the praise because of which they have managed to play so well against Pakistan. And generally we saw them beating Canada after chasing down 195 runs, so they deserve all of the praise. Group B is very excited because here Australia is the only team which has qualified, and Scotland is giving such a tough time to England. And tonight there are 2 games to be played from this group tonight. One is between Australia and Scotland, and the other is between England and Namibia. These 2 games will actually tell us as to which 2 teams from Group B are going to qualify. In fact, Australia is already qualified. For the 2nd position, Scotland and England are fighting. We will have to see as to which team eventually goes on to the next round. We have seen that Group A and Group B are almost settled. In Group B, there is fight between England and Scotland for the 2nd spot. Australia is already qualified from Group A. India and USA make it to the next round. Now let's move to the Group C, where there was fight between Afghanistan, West Indies and New Zealand for the top 2 spots, and eventually Afghanistan captured the first spot, and they have right now 6 points, and they've played 3 games. West Indies have also played 3 games, and they also have 6 points. So both of these 2 teams have won all of their games, and there is last game between these 2 teams which is going to happen, and it will be an exciting game because the game between the top of the table teams is always exciting. But for big news from this group is that New Zealand, who were the last year's semi-finalists, have gone out without playing the Super 8 because they finish on 3rd position in the Group C. And then in the Group D, we spoke about South Africa, who have been very lucky to win all of their 4 games. Last game against Nepal also they won by just 1 run, and they qualify for the next round with 8 points, played for 1-4, and they qualify for the next round. Bangladesh is the team which has 4 points and has done well. They were unfortunate against South Africa, but they also have 4 points, and they'll be fighting for their place because Netherlands is also the team which can qualify with the win against next game, and hoping that Bangladesh loses their game. But this group is still open, and Bangladesh and Netherlands are fighting between each other for the 2nd spot. And in this group also, Sri Lanka, one of the big teams who has won one of the titles of T20 World Cup, have also gone out without going to the next round. So this is the status of the 4 groups right now, and all of these groups have finally almost shaped up for the next round as to which 2 teams from each group are going to go to the next round. Welcome back after this song. So before I say goodbye in today's show, I must tell you that there are 3 games that are going to be played from now till our next show tomorrow. One game is from Group A. India take on Canada, and this game is also to be played in Lauderhill, where there is a chance that today's game could also be washed out because of the weather in Florida, but we'll have to wait and see. Though this game is a dead rubber, it's not going to impact on this group. The next 2 games are very critical because England has to take on Namibia, and it's a must-win game for England, and they also have to win this game by a good run rate. And the last game is between Australia and Scotland. We've seen that Scotland has given tough time to all of the teams in this group, and they're fighting against England for the second spot in this Group B. So these are the 3 games that are to be played. We hope these games go well, and we hope that all of you fans have little breather after the disappointment of Pakistan team coming out of this tournament. We'll talk about ICC Men's T20 World Cup, and we'll continue to talk about this World Cup in our next shows. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow.